All right, Bart from Bike Ride YouTube in Biloxi Bicycle Works, starting the week, April, I believe it's April 7th, Tuesday, April 7th. We close down the shop on Mondays, so our hours our days are basically Tuesday through Saturday, and I give my employees 2 days a week off. So this is basically our Monday. It's our Tuesday, Monday. I'm dropping my chain in the Sonic Waxer that I rode my mountain bike on Sunday with, so you guys know we got caught out in the rain out there. The chain wax does a good job of lubricating my chain and keeping everything clean, but you know, luckily here in the bike shop I have the Sonic cleaner, the Sonic waxer, and all the stuff that it's easy for me just to pop that chain off. And you can see we're stocked up with chains over here for this week. So one nice thing is, you know, I love starting the week off. Now, I am carrying my computer, but I'm also carrying my shoes. That means I got to ride my bike over the weekend. We got happy customers walking through the door. I see Dan's got bikes on the horizon here. So, hey, I'm going to cut this video short real quick and see what I can do to help this customer, and then we'll start the video again here in a minute. Well, all right, guys, just walking back from helping a customer put a bike in the trunk. I love this little shop. I mean, the natural wood sign, the old building, 3 old buildings. This is the old Johnson homestead. Man, we got so many awesome people in this neighborhood. I was gonna walk through the bike shop and see what's going on my way to get my van. I saw you looking at a bike a little bit ago.
It was.
Yes. So many cool bikes around.
There
so good to see you.
You too.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, they've got BMX bikes, and I know this guy. Do you know Dave Dennis?
I recognize the name.
Dave Dennis was going to be our next governor. Works for the National Treasury, and he bought this bike for a guy.
Yes.
Yeah, he just, you know, he's a nice guy, and this guy needed a bike. He bought this bike, and this guy's a character. He puts these little figurines all over it. I mean, it takes all types.
Oh yeah.
We got several bikes here that people are.
Well, I like that Trek. I just have to figure out a place where I can keep it indoors. Don't have that option yet, so I'm still having you guys keep my 14-year-old hair up to speed.
All right. Well, when the time comes, this is a great bike, though. I mean, this is one of those that Steve and I were talking about. Good classic old bikes that are just sturdy and fun to ride. You know, all the transmission purposes. Yeah. And at least it's your size. You know, because you have a lot of people that have an old bike that they maybe are attached to, but they didn't realize that they've been riding a bike for 15 years. It's the wrong size, you know. No, this is a great bike.
But I'm in a small condo unit, and so half the year I can keep it inside, half the year I can't. So if I can figure out the other 6 months, then I'll upgrade.
Yeah.
And I do like that one Trek that's out there for sure.
We were,
it doesn't have any speeds, but I don't use 15 speeds.
You don't need it. You know, sometimes people think more speed's the better, but a lot of times that's not the case. And then a lot of times it has that front derailleur, and if you don't know how to shift, it causes, you know, chains running sideways, and I don't know. Sometimes the less gears the better. You know, I mean, it's different if you're out there, but I think it's a ploy, because here in America it seems like bigger is always better. So when you go to the department store and you see something that says 21 speed or 24 speed, that's the best you can get. And then you come to the bike shop, well, why does yours only have 9? Yeah. Well, 9's all you need. You know, and it really stops that someone that doesn't know how to roll through all the gears. Yeah. You know, they get confused. They don't know what button does what, and they just hit stuff, and half the time they end up in a cross chain situation where you're in the smallest gear, and the smallest gear, the biggest and the biggest. So that's the 2 hardest gears for the drivetrain to handle. And most of the time you start rubbing the tolerance of that front derailleur, and it sounds like your bike's falling apart, and it's really just the chain rubbing the metal of the derailleur. But a lot of people don't understand what the derailleur actually is, a mechanism that derails the chain to throw it on it. It's still barbaric. So sometimes the less gears are the better. Yeah. All right, I'll put the camera down and go get my lunch here in a second. There's just always something interesting happening in the bicycle shop.
Oh, yeah.
All right, well, as I'm rolling around going from shop to shop. I keep running into awesome customers and friends, and I did see some customers that had ordered bikes, so I'm gonna make 4 people pretty happy right here. I shouldn't say just me, but Biloxi Bicycle Works is gonna make 4 people happy right here. Oh, there's my friend Paige's bike. At least I think that's Paige. Let me look here. No, that's my friend Noah's bike, but Paige has a similar bike like that. I like Noah's a fireman for Ocean Springs, and Noah's looking at getting a new road bike. So he's liked his flat bar gravel bike, but now he wants a road bike to ride a little faster with some of the other firemen. So, I mean, bikes are addictive. I have an addictive personality, so I'd rather spend my time with bikes than some of the other more destructive things I used to spend my time with. And yes, we do have a break room that is also a kitchen and a parts room and everything else in one, but you know, it makes us happy as bicycle shop people. We don't mind kicking back in a little spot like this to have our lunch. I've got to go grab my lunch out of my van. So I really like the blue on that Trek. You did a good job on this one. This is an older Excalibur 9, but I like the way the baby blue with the orange, and then they color matched the orange on the wheels. It reminds me of a Ford race car. I forget which race car that was, but there was a Ford race car that really kicked butt, and it had that blue paint job. So luckily on my van here, I've got a way to get in it without having a key. And I did make myself a nice healthy lunch last night while I was in the kitchen. So not only am I a bike shop owner, but I'm a cook. I got my cooler here, banana, fruit, some oatmeal with raisins, and some lettuce. So I've got to go relieve Alana so she can go to lunch. And I have my kombucha here, so. That is a store-bought bottle, but believe me, the kombucha that's in it is made from a SCOBY that I have at my house. So I just reuse the glass bottle. So that's my little treat at the end of a long day, and I'm gonna have a long day today because I have work to do after work. I'm gonna have my little glass of kombucha. So. And then here in Mississippi, you can see we've got a tag with the bicycles on it. So it's called the Share the Road tag. It costs me a little bit every month to have that tag, but to me it's worth it. Well, all right, guys, I'm gonna go relieve Alana for lunch. This is the back of the shop. This is where we wash the bikes and stuff back here. And we do have a tent we could put over in the summertime when the sun's really beating down. And then we also have an umbrella if we just want to pop up real quick. So. Someone else is pulling up to the bike shop here. I'll tell you what, we've got awesome friends and customers, and bike shop life is good. How are you doing? I'm so excited. I saw some boxes on the porch that look like they come in for you.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so fantastic. And then we're gonna do a trail ride Sunday too. So,
oh, really?
And you've got a new mountain bike.
Yeah.
I think it's on the porch over there. It's got to get built up, but. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited.
Me too.
Awesome. And it looks like Alana's out there on a test ride.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, you'll be ready for a mountain bike ride, trail ride. You've got the dual sport now.
And that other one, the gravel ride.
You get gravel rides, so a bike rack. I love it. And we appreciate your service too. I see a combat veteran from the Army. Yeah. So thank you so much for you know, serving our country, and now we get to go have fun with you.
Okay.
The work's over. You get to go play with us now. Yeah. Thank you. All right, I saw Alana out here taking a test ride with a guy. I still haven't had a chance to look at my lunch, but that's all right. Sometimes when you're running around the bike shop, you have to disregard food a little bit. All right, well, you guys see Ben zipping by on the bike all the time. And of course, you know, Ben represents. So right there, Biloxi Bicycle Works. Man, it looks good with those tan walls.
I paid
man.
attention to put kind of center
that's the
them
way you
up,
do it.
know what I'm saying?
And see, that's what we do, guys, is people in the know line up, and you get it looks perfect.
Almost.
Yeah, it looks perfect. But it does look good with that tan wall tire.
Yes,
and how does it ride? I mean,
And come on, like on a sheet of glass.
like a sheet of glass. That is awesome. That is awesome. She is, and I'll be right in myself. But that looks good, man.
Don't they look so much better?
Yeah, it looks better. You got the little skull caps on there.
Yes, I do.
So this is the man, the myth, the legend, guys. Now, normally Ben is zipping by here at 20 plus miles an hour, but he always waves and, hey, Bart, you know. And Ben's actually a good mechanic. So Ben, when this bike arrived, that had the rotor was out of true, and you got the rotor back in true.
Well, with good information from my buddy Bart.
But yeah, I love these tires on there. Looks good.
I love them too. Man, they turned out perfect. This is exactly what I wanted. Like I said, whenever they told me that this bike was available, I said, look, I don't mind having to put a couple $100 into it,
right?
You know, because I mean, for what it is.
All right. Well, it's after lunch now. Look at Alana polishing up the bike. This is the bike that you saw Alana riding at Bethel the other day.
I made a mess.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. Oh, look, we got Dan walking in with the new Fuel EX. Wow, that thing looks cool, Dan.
Oh yeah.
I was just talking to Janet, the customer, about it. She's gonna pick it up tomorrow.
Jessica.
Yeah, that's awesome looking.
The main thing that'll have to be done when she picks it up is the suspension will have to be set up for it.
Okay.
Other than that, it's ready to go.
Nice. Okay, cool. I like the color. Yeah. She'll be out riding mountain bikes with us this weekend. I gotta go put a chain in the waxer. Got some electric cruisers out there. Oh yeah, and I was gonna finish my story with Alana. Alana, you know, this is not fake. She's...
Look, I hosed it off. There are clumps of mud still in my yard from
From the bike?
the other week.
It was a mess. Well, you know, the roads were messier than the trail.
It was way messy.
I had to come here and rinse my van off afterwards.
I mean, I did actually hose this off.
But these
so-
bikes will go through an amazing amount of wetness, and I mean, it handles good. I know Alana, when she started riding this bike, was like, wow, I like this bike a lot.
I do.
And you were on a BMC hardtail before that, which was a new bike, you know, modern geometry. But as soon as you can go to a full suspension, it really does make a difference.
I like the geometry of this one.
Yeah,
I really do.
seem to like the Treks as well. You know, I mean, we are a Trek dealer, but
Yeah.
you know, we are an IBD independent bike shop, so we can pretty much sell whatever we want. But you know, I have made a commitment to Trek on, you know, some of the floor space I have, but they also have made a commitment to send customers my way. So, and they do. I mean, I see a few Trek boxes out on the front porch of the mechanic shop right now that, you know, Trek does a lot of advertising on the backside for us. So, but this video is not about Trek. It's just about what's going on in the bike shop on a Tuesday afternoon. Dan coming over. See, we do this as a PDI list. People think we throw the bikes together in 15 minutes, and no, that's not the way it works. There's a lot of checks and balances that go into building a bike at a bike shop.
Make sure it's good and roadworthy.
Yeah, good roadworthy. Everything's got to be torqued. It's, you know, there's a fiduciary responsibility we have as a bike shop to make sure that that bike is put together professionally. And we also have we're just talking about Trek. We've got a responsibility to Trek to make sure that we know what we're doing. Now, Trek has documents on all of their bikes, assembly processes, and I really do like this. Some people might think it's hokey, but a better box for a better planet. I'm big into, you know, not having a whole lot of plastics and stuff in the packaging, and Trek is down to, I believe, 0 plastics. Everything is recyclable in that box, and it does save me money in the dumpster. So our dumpster can get full of plastic and cardboard really quick, and with Trek we don't have that problem, so it saves me money on the dumpster fee. So here's some packaging. Like, Trek uses a lot of paper and cardboard. We see a lot of companies that use a lot of this, which is plastic, but Trek does a really good job of really making it minimal. Like, Dan just unboxed the Trek Fuel EX, and that's what's left of it. You know, cardboard. Even the spacers in the wheel spacers to keep the forks from getting crushed, cardboard. You know, so I appreciate that, being the guy who has to pay the dumpster bill. And I'm not joking. Like, this is. We just had our dumpsters. Of course, this is not scripted, of course. You know, but as we're talking about cardboard, we can get piles and piles of this stuff accumulated if we're not careful. And if our dumpster gets full of foam and plastic, we can't put as much of this stuff in there.
And this is full of bike boxes.
Yeah, this is full, like,
I've been doing.
and every time we get this thing, you know, emptied, it's a couple $100. So it makes a difference when there's not a whole lot of plastic. And all this cardboard, you know, we try to keep this looking good for the neighbors. But it's a lot easier to stack cardboard than it is plastic and foam. So anyway, that's what's going on at the bike shop today. I've got to go dunk another chain in the chain waxer, and I'll have some big announcements coming for you guys, the YouTube channel here this week. Biloxi Bicycle Works is looking good. It's looking empty right now, but it's because these guys are organized and keeps the place clean. All right, Bart from Biloxi Bicycle Works and Bicycle Rider YouTube. This is Tuesday, April 8th. And I've been working since before the sunrise. I've had meetings before the sunrise. And my last meeting of the day is at 6:30 p.m. And I still want to go get some exercise tonight. So, long day in the bike shop for the bicycle shop guy, the owner. And believe me, it goes like this all week long. So, look at this old cup. I got second place in a time trial in 2017. I've been doing this stuff for a long time, but I enjoy it. I enjoy sharing the passion of bicycling. So, Bart from Bicycle Rider YouTube, over and out. Thanks for sticking with me. Oh, if you like what we do, you know, like and subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything, and it helps YouTube, you know, rank us and let them know that you guys are watching. Thank you. All right. Another Trek box walking in. It looks like another pre-sold bike.
Oh, yeah.
Which one is this one?
804.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember this lady that bought this. Size 52. Yeah, she was excited about getting a new bike, and I was excited to help her get a new bike. She wanted carbon, but of course the carbon was just a little bit pricey. We were able to get her into a Trek ALR, which is a very competent bike in the price point she wanted, and she really wanted to be able to fit 32 millimeter tires. And this new Trek Jetpoint Domani AL4 comes with 32 millimeter tires, and they come tubeless. So anyway, you see that Trek Waterloo, Wisconsin. Trek is going to be you know, affected by the tariffs as well. Maybe not so much right now as some of the other companies, because of where they're built, but it says Wisconsin on the box, you know, and that makes me happy. So at least there's a Wisconsin, there's a U.S. based company. It's just hard for these companies to, you know, source all their parts in the United States and still have an affordable bike. Maybe someday that will happen, but until then, the bicycle industry is going to be struggling when we're already struggling a lot. So tariffs are going to be hitting us pretty hard in parts and in bikes, but you know, I guess it's got to happen if we want manufacturing back in the United States. When that happens, I don't know. So let's meet in the middle, maybe do assembly in the United States and be happy about that. And I was thinking about that. Bicycle assembly could be really cool because you actually get to use tools. So I wouldn't think that bicycle assembly is going to be automated yet, like the car industry. You know, I mean, you like cars, and you're like, well, I want to go work at the car manufacturing plant, and you end up just, you know, doing one or two jobs, screwing a lug nut on or something, and it gets passed to the next guy. That's, you know, I mean, that's the way it's gone. It's automated. I've never worked in an industry. Well, I did. I was an ATM, an accountant for an ATM factory, and you know, you didn't build that ATM from from start to finish by yourself. It went down an assembly line. But I think with bicycles, I could picture maybe a big warehouse with a bunch of stands, some trained mechanics, and some tools, and you assemble the bicycle. At least that's what I envision. So that could be great for people that want hands-on work, want to put pride in their work, maybe even get to put your name on the I built this bike card or something. So think about American assembly, and Mississippi could be posed for that. We've got a lot of attributes to maybe make assembly in America a good thing. Assembly in Biloxi, Mississippi. We do have a port, so we have deep water port, so we can get ships in. We can get a good workforce. We've got a community college that could help us train that workforce. We have warehouse space. We have some state leaders that want to help business, and the coast is a cool place to live. So it's not you're stuck in some, I don't know, city that doesn't have any atmosphere. So it could be a good thing. Just think about that. Track assembled in Mississippi. I think our economy is probably a little bit more affordable than the economy up in Wisconsin. It's pretty snazzy up there. I like the way it looks, but it's got to cost a lot to live up towards Waterloo. It's not cheap down here. I try to say that Mississippi Gulf Coast is a good value, but it's still, it still costs money to live. But it'd be cool to have assembled bikes in America leading up to, manufacturing. But that could be for a whole nother video. I'm going to end this one now because I have some other stuff to do. I got to put down the camera. I got to get to work. Bicycle people are awesome, like superheroes. All right, guys. Bart from Biloxi Bicycle Works, over and out for now. Bart from Bike Rider YouTube. We are so real, sometimes I don't know what to call myself. My name's Bart Luther. You can find me on social media. Real guy, real person, owner of a bike shop. I love owning a bike shop. We meet so many cool people. All right, over and over for now. Well, all right, guys, pretty wild day at Biloxi Bicycle Works. I saw the service department was hopping over there, huh? All right. Well, we predicted it. The good weather brings people out. The people that rode rental bikes today came back and said there was bicycles everywhere.
Fantastic. Well, it's about as gorgeous as it gets.
Yeah, the weather, what is it? It's mid-70s out here?
Low 80s all week long.
Low 80s.
No 80s.
No 80s. So we're under 80 degrees. The humidity's low, which is strange for us. Highs in the 50s in the morning?
Yeah, 40s, 50s, something like that.
Man, it's like California weather.
At least for part of the week.
Cool nights, mild
Yeah.
days, and sunshine.
Yeah.
I had to put an extra blanket on my bed last night. But I've been sleeping with the windows open and a tank top and short sleeves. Actually, I sleep naked. But
All right.
I didn't want to say that on camera. But so last night I had to put an extra cover on the bed. But woke up, it was chilly, and it's absolutely beautiful out here right now. So.
Okay, Bart, what's going to happen when you have an emergency in the middle of the night, and you need to get up and run and?
I have to grab my shoes, I guess. My most important part of clothing. But yeah, it's beautiful out here. And now I've got to do an interview. So I said I've got a long day. Look, I'm setting up my little area for an interview. And I haven't had chance to prepare for it. So we rolled by the seat of our pants. So anyway.
Can I tell you something off camera?
Yeah. Let me turn the camera off, but. From Biloxi Bicycle Works and Bike Rider YouTube, over and out for the day. All right, well, another day at Biloxi Bicycle Works, and it's a beautiful, exciting day. So I just saw one of my favorite newscasters walk in, Jacoby from WLOX. I saw my buddy Brandon coming in from Texas, so I figured I better go grab my camera and document some of what goes on at Biloxi Bicycle Works on a daily basis. So, like I mentioned, we got Jacoby Rivers in the house here from WLOX TV to do a spot, not on Biloxi Bicycle Works, but basically on health and fitness, springtime, people getting out, getting energy. I try to not make these commercials about Biloxi Bicycle Works, but I kind of am that spokesman of, cycling and the life in cycling. And
cycling guru.
yeah, I try to be that guide for people, because people come in here all the time, Jacoby, there's no place to ride. I'm like, well, have you used us as a resource?
Right.
Like, most of the time we do this for free, and we're glad to show you where to ride. I said, as much as cycling is a part of my life, I wouldn't live here if there wasn't cycling.
Right.
Now, we don't have a plethora of infrastructure that people used to see in other cities and other countries. But what we do have is a lot of open space. We have a friendly community. You know, we have a very welcoming community, and a lot of that is courtesy. As we give courtesy to the vehicles, we get that courtesy back.
Right.
You know, some of these big cities that you ride in, no one shows each other any courtesy, and it turns into this dog-eat-dog war. That's not what we have on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Brandon, how you doing? This is my buddy Brandon from Texas, and you guys have seen Brandon on several of my YouTube videos.
Yeah.
We haven't seen you in person in a while, man. But
Since November.
look at, I mean,
30 pounds.
30 pounds down, big happy smile.
Loving life.
Big,
Happy to be back on the Gulf Coast.
oh
I mean, if you
man.
got to be sent somewhere to work, this is it.
Yes.
This is it.
This is it.
Oh, it's so rough.
Awesome.
I hate life right now.
Well, you know, because you got to work when it's so nice out.
No, it's been. I love it here.
Yeah, that's awesome. We've got Jacoby in here from
Great people here,
WLOX,
too.
so
Great people.
I'm just happy that I'm loving life myself.
Yeah.
I was going to show him that, you know, the
Oh, the
signature.
yeah, D-Block signed your bike, man. I got it on camera
That's
too.
awesome. That's awesome.
Well, all right, guys. I didn't get much video today, but we had a lot of exciting happenings here today. But it's one of those days that I couldn't grab my video camera, so you guys kind of missed it. But you can see here's part of the Thursday night ride that's going to be leading out of here. So it's good to see everybody getting ready to put on some fitness tonight. What a beautiful night to ride too, huh? It's going to be fantastic. So, all right, I'll dress up. I'll get dressed out in a little bit and get ready. If anybody needs to fill up their water bottles or something, it's in there. Thanks for hanging in there today, Alana. We got Ray. All right, Ray's in the house tonight. What's up, Ray? All right, we got all the bikes in. I guess I'm the last person to get ready.